Welcome to episode 4 of the Richard and James Reselling Podcast.
Hey!
It's good to see you. It's
Good to see you.
James. And we've got a guest.
Have
So I think people know this man.
Well, I'll give you a couple of clues. Let me give you a couple of clues. Right. First of all, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title. That's your first clue. And just to kind of give you an idea, so we've obviously got the legend himself, Brum Reseller John. And a little bit of an overview for John. For those that don't know John, this is a quick snippet. And when I mean quick, it's not even touching the surface. But John is an absolute legend, first of all. He is an absolute foundation and a fundamental part of the reselling YouTube community. If you haven't seen him, then what are you doing? Because you haven't even looked at a YouTube video as far as I'm concerned.
You're not living.
The man is currently at 10.4K subs. He has now, not necessarily reselling videos, but nonetheless, I think he's had 2.2 million views on his videos in total on YouTube. But you'll have to check his channel to see which video was the most viewed one. And I don't know why that video has had so many views.
My most viewed video is something like 2.200.
Oh,
I'm smashing it. I'm killing it.
Well, I ain't got any videos uploaded. I've removed mine, so mine's nil plus. So I definitely lose this. Now, John is famous, and I would say for me, if I watch his videos, as the way he does his videos is it's John.
It's John,
and
obviously.
He's very good at kind of obviously. I mean, we're doing a podcast, obviously. He's very good at kind of just dealing with negative, positive, and just craziness. And to kind of give you an idea of that is that John, every time he's in his shop, the door is always knocking, and he's had things like a Roxy Man drop in there. He's come up there and he's done a song on a keyboard. He's had Boris Johnson. I think he's had Eminem turn up, Donald Trump, Ricky Gervais, Ozzy Osbourne,
some French man.
But most famous of all, he's also had Barry Blue Nose. So So this is just a little bit of kind of what John's about. And to kind of talk about what he does as well, he's a full-time eBay reseller / runs his own store / also has a side store as well in Red Brick, whereabouts people can walk in and buy the vinyls, and it's kind of like it's like one of them kind of antique places you go where you walk around, but he's got vinyl, there's t-shirt, there's pop stalls in there. And if that wasn't enough, he went, just go. Exactly. I thought I'd go and start my own taxi company. So him with a couple of friends he's worked for prior, they've created a business and he's got a taxi company called Ride. So I literally thought my life was busy with just having Holly. John is the next level. So without further ado, we'll bring on the absolute legend himself, Brum Reseller. John, here he comes.
Hello, John. You.
Wow, what an introduction. I felt like I was on This Is Your Life.
Well, it is.
Who's going to come out next?
Hopefully no one's at the door today.
This is some serious reselling chat. No costume changes.
Exactly.
I haven't been drinking.
Although we do like the costume changes.
Yeah.
And the phone calls in the shop. We enjoy that. How's everything going?
Yeah, definitely. How's it going, John?
All right. Struggling for time at times. My day, I literally don't have a day off. There's Monday to Sunday, I'm working from the time I get up to the time I come in. I'm working that whole time. It's not good at the moment for family life, but when you're building something, sacrifices have to be made. Luckily, my partner understands that because I don't think many people would.
No, that's amazing that she's got you kind of covered in regards to that, because that's a lot to take on.
Yeah.
Because once it's all set up and it's rolling nicely, then you can start enjoying it. But like it is anything, and when you start building it and you put all your time and your effort into it, and obviously you know, you get things go wrong and niggly bits that you have to sort out, or you get
Yeah.
a phone call at stupid times in the night or in the morning. You know, you've got to deal with all that, and it does get in the way. But like looking at the big picture, that's what you're doing. You're looking at the big picture, and you're just you're doing what you've got to do, and you're doing it so that you and your family have got a comfortable life, and that you've got everything you want. You know, you're trying to give your family the best life they've got, and that's why you're doing this. So where it's a bit hard at the moment, it's going to pay dividends down the line.
Yeah, I think, like, you know, even thinking about when we first started this, we're living in such a difficult time. It's been unbelievable. What
Especially with the taxi firm and the fuel.
Yeah, fuel. You know, just cost of living, pandemics, wars. You know, it is the time we're living in. It's mental.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about, you know, my two kids. Got two boys. I don't want them having to worry about their future. I want them to walk into a family business where, you know, no matter what happens at their school, they've missed a lot of school. Obviously, everyone's kids missed a lot of school. How that will reflect in the future, I don't know. So, you know, me doing this now is kind of protecting their future as well, and the whole family. So, yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's tough. You know, as an example, the shop electric bill when I started, it was £25.
Is that month, week, year?
A month.
Okay.
It's not bad, 25 a month.
Scottish Power.
Yeah.
Then a guy randomly come in and just said, "Where's your electric meter?" I said, "It's down there." He took a reading. I had a letter through the post. It's gone up to £75. I thought, okay. I had another notification yesterday, I think, or the day before, £119 now.
No.
Wow.
A month.
That's from £25. That's ridiculous.
And like, there's no. All we're using are lights.
Yeah.
And you know, a bit of
There's
no heating. There's nothing. There's nothing.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
It's getting harder. It is getting harder.
What with that, and food's gone up so much. Like, you know, I do the food, and the food is just ridiculous. Gone up, just at like tripled. Some of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The amount that they're putting on stuff is just ridiculous. And with the fuel, with the food, with the bills, like it's not hardly surprising that people aren't able to cope.
Like fuel. Difficult. Spending £160 a week on fuel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that come into like your pickups though as well when you're saying that? Because obviously I know that you're doing the taxi driving yourself as well when you can.
I'm generally haven't been picking anything up. I haven't really been going to car boots last couple of weeks, which while the videos have been slacking a little bit. That's just generally taxi driving. Yeah. So
as about to compensate for the fuel, as obviously the fare prices had to go up.
No, we're in discussions about this at the moment.
So you're losing. So you're going to be losing out big style if that's not sorted, because, like I say, the petrol and diesel's going up all the time. If you can't then add that onto your fare, then you're going to be. It's going to hit you hard.
It's the kind of like we're in discussions about the fares, and we're in a lot of competition with a lot of companies all over Birmingham. So we've got to take that into account. We're a new company. We want to get customers. So do we want to sort of go in as the cheapest? People are struggling. Will that bring us more custom?
Yeah, massively.
Or do we go with them and just charge everyone the same, like increase our prices, which isn't going to benefit any?
Yeah. I'm no expert, but I'd go, if I was running the business, I'd go with the first, because as you said there, that's your USP, that you are an affordable taxi service. You knew, and because you knew, you might even say, look, we're guaranteeing our prices until 2023 or something. That might be one of your little mottos, and then that way people are going, well, I'm going to use them for my school runs, I'm going to use them for every because I know that my kid's going to get school and I know my wages are going to be set amount, so I can budget it. So I'd totally about that.
If you go the same as everybody else, people are going to stick with who they're already using, because it's sometimes better the devil you know. So, like, you've got to have something to get them customers. Yeah, like, I think you're doing it the right way.
If a company goes like what a taxi company do is first mile is the highest. So our first mile is £4. I think what a lot of companies will have to do is move that to £4.50, £5 first mile. But if we can sort of stay at 4, then people will start really thinking, well, everything's going up. These are cheaper. We'll start using these.
Yeah.
Obviously, at a detriment to us, but it should start bringing more work in.
Yeah, definitely.
And the thing is, once you've got them people, then if you put your prices up a little bit, slightly, they're not going to notice it, and you've got them then, so they're not
because we're providing a good service and a good customer service as well, and we're on time, and this is what we were trying to be.
Exactly. What you should do with your drivers though is like just change it up a little bit, like just send them out in different costumes. You can go out as Barry.
Yeah.
Who's this French guy turning up?
Oh, we. Yeah. I like the French guy.
No, I like to be fair, John. It's just nice. It's nice to hear that it is going well, because we weren't there at the beginning, but we kind of heard the whispers, and we were there on the announcement when you did it. We were on your live with you, and
actually, we did find out just before.
Yeah. 30 seconds, but it's. I remember you did. I remember you doing that and talking to you, and I could feel like you knew you had the knowledge, and I am happy that we're still talking about positive things. The doing part is not easy. So it's easy to go, right, I know where I am, and I know where I need to go. That's easy, and it sounds really cool. And then when you are there, by the way, people are going to go, God, he's had it given to him on a plate, because they'll never understand this journey right now. When you're there, and you 10 years from now, and you're like, and people are like, how many days do you work? You're like, I'm just working 3 days. I've got someone watching the shop, and I've got red brick. I've just gone top them up now and check everything's okay. In a taxi business, I'm now a silent partner to a degree. I've got my income coming from that, or I just pop in once a week to the office and do my admin. And people go, God, you're so lucky, because this is the grind. And as you said,
that's people that don't have their own businesses, because any business you start, you have to put all your effort into it. Like, otherwise, 100%. It's not going to work. And when we spoke to John before, and was saying about the taxi company, you could tell he was passionate about it. John, so he's going to put everything into it, and it's a struggle right now. But how long have you been how long has it been going now, John?
Since January.
See, that's not a
6
long
months
time
in.
for a new business. You're talking 6 months.
We've had our difficulties, but it's come on leaps and bounds. We started with no customers, no drivers. Last week, so this company has now allowed me to earn £770 last week.
Brilliant.
Wow.
As an additional income to what I'm already doing.
Wow.
And through I've needed it. There's no doubt, because what I've noticed is, especially as we're coming through like harder times, people are starting to look around their house thinking, my electric bill's coming.
Yeah.
What I need to say, my car's broke. I don't have enough money. I'm starting to see more collections come into the shop.
Yeah.
I need to buy them collections, because I can't let the shop stagnate. No, there's no way about that. And I think I don't think. What I've also noticed is, like when people are starting to tighten their belts, certain genres of music start dropping away. Yeah. So not many people are buying dance music, because that's more like a hobby.
Yeah.
Whereas record albums, that is like an addiction.
Yeah.
And that will never stop, I don't think, no matter what happens, because with a record, if you go out and buy a new pair of shoes, put them on, they're instantly devalued.
Yeah.
Records, they don't. They
appreciate.
stay the same or appreciate over time. Especially now we've come through the 90s where they just literally nosedive. That you know, I don't think we'll ever see that again.
No.
Which is why I'm in a good position with the shop, because I've kind of seen that gap in the market. I've gone through it, and it's paying dividends now. You know, and to get the money I'm earning on the side through the company we set up in December is now allowing me to buy these collections. Now, I went to see a collection yesterday. He wanted $2,500. I'm like, nah. I went to see it. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. But I offered him 1.5. So I think that's something I can do it with it. You're asking too much. So yeah, if I didn't have the tax company, I couldn't do it. There's no doubt I couldn't do it.
At the end of the day, though, when you go to that type of collection where someone's been collecting it for a certain thing, and that's the other thing when they're selling it, when the people go, yeah, but it's this on eBay, or it's this, that, and the other, and it's like, fine, well then do the legwork and deal with selling 1,000 items. You deal with that headache, or you can get half of what it's actually physically worth right now as a lump sum, because I'm going to deal with the headache of packaging, posting, time management. And that's what I think sometimes you're exactly right. But the bigger you buy, the more negotiation, the more leverages there is. And I think that's how
better profits overall.
Well, I think that's how you're going to get your best deals right now. Is by negotiate, whether you're into vinyl or you're into toys or you're into Pokemon cards, whatever you are, is try and don't buy individual, try and buy as the bulk.
I'll give him the offer, and he's going to think about it. But you know what? When I turned up to his house, big telltale sign that this guy needs to sell his records. He had a sold sign on his house. I was like,
yeah, so he's trying to sell it so he don't have to carry it.
There was 3,500 pieces of vinyl.
Yeah, he don't want to move it, does he?
He don't want to take it with him. So I'm kind of in the driving seat there.
Yeah, that's like nice call.
Telltale sign.
Yeah, nice call. So it's like that at boot sale. If someone's wheels falling off the car, you can sell it cheap. Just feel like I'll give you a $5 for the lot.
Yeah, but that's good being so observant that you're seeing the house is sold. He's obviously got these up for sale. Who wants to cart around 3,500 vinyls like no one in their right mind?
No, he hasn't played them in years. They've been up in his loft. He only brought them down because at some point they're going to have to be moved. So he's been bringing them down over the last 2 weeks in bags because he's only got a little hatch. So I can offer less than what I plan to, because he's in a worse. He needs to sell them.
Yeah, and he needs to sell them, or he's got to move them, and that's going to be a pain.
Oh, he's got to leave them. That's his other option.
Yeah. What I offered was a decent offer. Yeah. I don't think I've still got to make money off it. So, for me, the other problem was there was too many 12-inch singles for my liking. You know, the money's in the albums, but there is some gems in the 12-inch. It just takes a lot of work to go through, do all the research.
Yeah, you've got to go through every single one.
You're quite lucky that you found that hack regarding your singles and that, because you do the bundle on eBay, don't you? Whereabouts you do it, and I think that's fantastic. Because if I was selling, like as I said, what you're selling vinyls, I think that's your biggest hack. All your lump stuff, you do a really affordable price, which is brilliant for someone who just want to just listen to genres, and they might have just bought one and there you go, there's 10, 20, 30 vinyls, singles or albums. But as you said, I take it you're looking at how many you've sold of it now. Is that what you're checking for me? Yeah. That's good. Because this is good information for if you're listening to this right now. It's a prime example of if you are niching down on a business, which I've said is really good regarding the clothing. It doesn't mean you can't go and buy other things, but if you've got a bread and butter of getting a source or something, you can make a sustainable business. And as you said, when you're buying these and you've got the rubbish, which you say I just bulk bought clothes from house clearance people, there's going to be a lot of wasted clothes. Well, one way to do it would be for me to just do auctions of loads of stuff and sell it as like rags or spare clothes, and also maybe charge £2 extra on the postage, so you're making a couple of quid on your postage, and it's rather than wasting. Go on, John. How many have we sold today in regards to your bundle?
301.
And how much are you charging them for, just out of interest?
14.99 for 20 singles.
And you sold how many? 301 bundles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's good.
It's a prime example. So John's gone and bought all that vinyl collection. You've got 3,000 of it. He's got this that would be wastage. A lot of businesses would just go out, just chuck that away, and we'll keep the good stuff.
Yeah.
You're maximizing your profits because you're dealing with all aspects of it, and it's and that is on the money.
Yeah.
Because even if you did shoes as an example, and you had and you just kept the laces from some shoes that weren't salvable. Laces are still valuable stuff, and then when you can buy shoes with no laces, you instantly saved yourself money.
Yeah, it'd be nice bit of fresh stock as well for Red Brick and for the shop.
Yeah, when I say a collection, it's like, what can I do with it? So the bundles is a classic example of getting rid of stuff that I don't have a market for. And it's still good stuff, but it's just like Belinda Carlisle 7-inch singles, and I do try and put in some quality stuff as well, so I don't get negative. But when you're dealing with eBay, so it's going to happen.
Of course, it is.
It's stuff without sleeves, so it'd be like, but it's still good, like the Jam singles, still a really good track, but it doesn't have the sleeve. Put it in a bundle, people will like that.
Have you just whilst it's on my mind, sorry to kind of stop you mid-flow, have you been selling that album that's kind of hot at the moment, the Running Up the Hill one with Netflix series, and because it's from Stranger Things, hasn't it? Apparently that's like the hot album at the moment. I was interested if you've been selling it on vinyl. How's that's been going?
So what I've done there is I've got a much better understanding of Red Brick and what the sort of demographic of who goes there, who buys there, who shops there. I've collected every single Kate Bush item I've got and put it in Red Brick.
Nice.
With a premium on top, another £5 on all of her albums, all of her singles. Because when you look around Red Brick, that's the person who watched Stranger Things. That's the person who's going to want a Kate Bush album to pick up there and then. There's people in the shop, my regular customers, if they've already got a Kate Bush, or they're of an older sort of mid-50s kind of range, blokes, not really into Kate Bush. So yeah, it's all gone to Red Brick. All of it. Because I could put it all on eBay and make a killing, but then my shop isn't good. It doesn't.
I like what you're doing because it's the same. It's coming back to the same idea of the taxi business, which you're at the moment currently the cheapest. Because you're not just putting it on eBay, you're creating repeat customers in Red Brick who will come back and know your store as that trendy that trendy vinyl place, and also they'll probably try other artists from you as well. But as you said, because you've sold it at a premium, it doesn't mean that you can't add an extra couple of pounds here and there on stuff, and as you said, a lot of that generation and millennials and stuff like that are buying inside there, are happy they understand the value of what your job is. They understand this is a used item and they're buying it on, and they understand it costs a little bit more, but they understand that it helps you. So
I think as well that some people, when they find something, they can find it online, but if they find it there and then, they want it there and then. I think that's a big thing as well. Because if I see something and I go, oh yeah, that's nice, I'd love to buy that on eBay, and then I pop out to the town and I see it there, it's a couple of quid more. I'm thinking, well, I'd rather have it now.
Yeah.
So you've got that set USP, which it's there. You can take it now if you want it now. If you really want it that much, take it home with you now rather than wait for it to turn up, or maybe not turn up if you buy it online.
Yeah, a lot of people think, oh well, you can get it cheaper online. Well, is that person at that time going to see that Kate Bush album and research, go onto Amazon, can I get it cheaper? They're not. They're not even thinking about that. They think, oh, Kate Bush, I'll have that for a present for someone.
Once they've got it in their hand, that's it.
Yeah.
They can feel it. They can touch it. They
Retail,
know it.
completely different mindset. And some people will check. Oh no, I can get that online. I'll get it cheaper online. But
they're the
vast
people that are
majority.
desperate for it. There's a lot of people. If someone wants it, it's like me. If I want something, I want it. You know, I want it as soon as I can get it. So I don't know.
It's definitely something. I'd like to have a conversation with you in about a year's time about doing something like Red Brick myself, because I know it's hard work, but I'd love to get to the point with my clothing whereabouts I've got some real nice vintage pieces, and I'm like, hang on a minute, like as much as I could sell it on eBay, it's just another cash flow, and it's another way of displaying items. And if you've got some,
because I mean, they got bricks and mortar place, and like we was talking the other day, weren't we? And like, you know, they're selling things for £200 through their shop and that, and through their website, that you can go on. You know, they said themselves that people can go on eBay and buy something for 30 or 40 quid, but because they've got their bricks and mortar and because they've got their website, you know, they're getting 5 times the money for it. They're getting their 200 quid. So
it's experience as well. And as you said, they've to talk about them very quickly, they've worked for very high end companies, so they know how to deliver a high end service. So that experience, and also from what we understand, it's about as big as a Woolworths. So it's a big place.
I did watch that podcast, to be fair.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to kind of popping around there at some point and kind of seeing it all out. But I know they want to keep certain things separate because, unfortunately, people there are a lot of trolls out there, shall we say, and you know they want to. They're not bragging rights, and that was the whole point. That hint why you know he only drives 2 Lamborghinis rather than 1. So John's got 6, but
what he uses taxis.
So I do have a very important question. Have you decided to buy a van yet, John, that's permanently parked outside your store to stop them from parking there?
No, I mean the parking situation's got worse. So there wasn't. What happened was that shop is like an electrical car shop. They repair cars, you know, electronics. It briefly changed into a bric-a-brac all sorts shop. So the car situation got less because they didn't want to park cars outside the shop because now it's their shop. Why would they park a car outside of it?
Yeah.
But since then, it didn't. I don't think it's done any sort of business. It closed, turned back into this electrical car shop. Now they're using these spaces to put the cars back. So there's times like I turn up, I'm like, there's cars everywhere, all on the pavement outside. I don't think the council's going to do anything about it because it's not on the pavement; it's on the space outside. And these 2 shops that they're parking outside of, they're permanently closed.
Yeah, so that they're not going to moan about it, are they?
But like the record shop is the record shop. It's on Google Maps. I think I was looking at some stats on my Google business page. It'd been searched like 7,000 times in the last 28 days.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter sometimes, and I just got to look past it because there's nothing I can do about it. I've got to look past it and think my social media is bringing people to the shop. Someone, and I've got to say a shout out to them in my next video because I forgot the last one. They were. This is what the YouTube channel brings. They were going on a holiday in Devon. They live in Scotland. They've come all the way down. They've had a break in Coventry. Stay over. It's too much driving. Stopped over in Coventry. They've made their way to the shop. They spent £60 and then continued on their way to Devon.
Oh, wow.
Just because they've watched the channel, they're subscribers. Yeah, they wanted to come and support the channel. You know,
fantastic.
Hello, and you know, it's things like that. Like sometimes it doesn't matter about the parking situation outside because people are always.
Yeah. And sometimes you can't do anything about the things that are out of your control. You've got enough. Yeah. You've got enough going on with the things that are in your control.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is, it's not going to be detrimental to your business. It's not going to help your business. So it's not important. It's not important. You've got way more that you've got to deal with. So
yeah.
when you get some time back, we'll me and you can talk about Brum's Burgers, and we'll put the burger van outside the front there. So
yes, that's what.
So when the vinyl shop closes, we'll go in there, Brum's Burgers, and then we'll get that. We'll get Rate My Food or whatever. Rate My Takeaway, whatever his name is, when he goes back on the road again. We'll get him to come round.
Yeah.
We'll get him to come round with his deck chair, and we'll sort him well out.
Yeah,
but what we'll do is we'll get all the different characters to keep serving him, and he won't know what's going on. He will not be able to clock it.
Yeah, you've got Mr. Beast Burger. You can have Mr. Brum Burger.
Definitely. So obviously the taxi business, as you said, 6 months into it. So we're growing, and obviously Red Brick sounds like it. You've found the demographic, and you're on the money there. That's right. Don't forget, guys. Sponsorship deal coming. So your actual store itself. One thing we haven't actually talked about, and I think last time I actually spoke to you, I think it was a bit like, I'm trying to get in. I've got a family member covering one day, or we're closed one day. How's the actual shop performing 7 days a week? How's that going, and who's in there? And is it I know you said the bills have gone up, but is it taking money? How's that performing at the moment, your actual store?
As an example, let me just go to my statistics.
There he is.
John's got staff.
So I've got 2 people in the shop. If you've been to the shop, you would have seen them. A weekday guy and a Saturday guy. So obviously, it's got to bring enough money in to cover, obviously, rent and to pay them, and water and electric and insurance and So the way the shop is, the way I see it, it's like an intake of stock. So I could easily lose money some weeks, easily. But it's like the intake is the shop, and that costs me money, which is fine. But it's what I do with that stock is where the money comes back in. So as long as I feed, what I'll do is I'll feed rare items into eBay, stuff that I don't think I'm going to get the value for in the shop on eBay. I'm starting to feed Red Brick with, I've called it like, so I don't know if I told you this, Red Brick. I've got 2 stalls in Red. I've extended Red Brick.
No, I think you mentioned that you were doing it, and I think we had a photo of it, but I don't think it was officially announced.
So in Red Brick, I've got 2, and I pay my big booth at the back. That's £400 a month. So I went to them and thought, is everyone seeing this booth at the back? I don't know. It's a big place. It's right at the back, my store. Is everyone seeing it? I went to me. Is there any opportunity at the front? I said, yeah. There was a couch there. I said, yeah, well, if we move this couch out of the way, you can have one there. I was thinking, I'll do it. I said, well, how much is it? £75. It worked out to be like $250 a day. Does that work out right? Something like that.
Not a day, a month.
The £75 a month.
£2.50 a day. Yes, about right.
Yeah, £2.50 a day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm about to say not 250.
Yeah, so
I'm about to say, John, I love you, but I think we could help you here.
Yeah. So it works out to be an extra £2.50 a day. I was thinking it's no brainer. So my thoughts was with this new place is to put merch in there. So like I've signed up to like a wholesaler who deals with music related merch, like David Bowie socks, Beatles socks, loads of socks, mugs.
Yeah.
I can go to that wholesaler and pick what I want, but there's a minimum order and it's a bit expensive. And so the other thing I thought of, I'm gonna try it out. It's not costing me too much extra. See what works.
It's worth it.
So I've got loads of dance music. Put loads of dance music up there. It was all right. It made the £75, not doing anything great. So I thought, well, the next thing is to fill it with bangers. So because I'm not too worried about the security. In the back, up in the back booth, there's no security. You can do what you want up there, you know, but there's nothing up there really that I'm going to lose money on. So, but now I can fill it with quality £20, £30, £50 records, and then my sales have just gone like that.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
As you said, 2 records pays for the month. That's not bad going.
Exactly.
So all your red brick stuff, is that sustaining itself? That's doing okay, it's doing well, pulling the money in.
You know, and at times because red brick is just rent. There's no staff, there's no bills. It's just rent. It's bringing in sometimes more when I add in my costs of the shop than the actual shop.
Fantastic.
So when I say the shop is the intake, eBay is the outlet, red brick is the outlet, and that's where I'm making. And don't get me wrong, the shop can make a lot of money in a week as well. But at times when I add in, like I've spent the rent, the wages, the bills, and then any sort of collection that I've bought on top of that, it is running at a loss. But it's what I do with that stock is where I'm getting. Look, my eBay is still firing.
And lucky enough, you've got other things to compensate. If you have a low month in the shop one day, you know, red brick might, you know, carry it a little bit. So you've still got them other streams of income to sort of like, it's not like that's your only business, because if you have a low period, you know, it's like me with the, you know, I was saying to you earlier, you know, with my eBay and that, James has been helping me out. He's like, I wouldn't even be where I am now if it wasn't for him, because like he's been helping me get through all my crap that I've been going through and that. But obviously now, to catch myself up to myself, I've now, I said to you earlier, I started doing some casual van driving, which is supposed to be casual, but last week it was like 5 days, it was every day. So I'm doing that now to catch myself up. So lucky enough, where eBay's a bit low for me right now, I've got that to compensate. So it is handy having that other income stream for sure. I wouldn't go back to it permanently, but for me at the moment, it's like my little safety net. You know, I'm quite happy to do it.
And I'm all about income streams, you know.
Yeah.
And once you've got one set up, build on it. Look at the next one.
It's exactly probably where my mindset is. That's probably I'm gonna have I'm gonna have to book you out at Christmas. But I started full time when you started Ride, so I'm same situation. I'm now 6 months full time income, and I can hand on heart say my bills are covered now. I've learned my bread and butter. You know, if you go back and find the original videos of Richard when he asked me the question, would I ever do clothing? I said, no, I'd never do clothing. It's rubbish. You know,
I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to put that out. A little edit class, and I'm going to bring it up and say, James, did you ever consider clothing? No, I hate clothes.
I hate clothing. But the reality is that part time, it never worked because I wasn't fascinated by it. But full time, you need to find something that's going to pay 80% regardless. Something you can find day or night, boot sell or no boot sell, and clothing was the answer for me because it's so readily accessible. But it's taken me 6 months.
Clothing is the answer. Yours is music is the answer. Mine's driving is the answer.
Broccoli is the answer.
Broccoli is the answer. Broccoli is the answer.
Broccoli is the answer.
But now, as you said there, once I've done a year of it, and I know that I'm there after a year, and I can kind of see it, I definitely feel like a red brick alternative, not a shop, because I don't want to tie myself down to a shop, but I like the idea of twice a week, once a week, I go there. I'll have lots of stock here that I've tried to sell on eBay for 6 months and it hasn't really shifted. Even if I'm selling at £1 a pop, it's still £1 extra than me just chucking it away. Yeah. Even though I've got the boot sale, I can go to the boot sales. I'd much rather, if I'm being honest, I'd much rather always sell. I'd much rather always buy, rather than sell, because I feel like I've only got a certain amount of time and I'm better off buying, and then it's an alternative way of me going, right, I've tried that on eBay, and then I can kind of put that in an alternative place, and it's free stock as far as I'm concerned, because it's just going to get to the point where I'm just going to pretty much bin it. So
we haven't got anything like red brick around here, but in Arundel they've got like these, they look like antique shops, but people do pay for little sections of the shop, so it's similar to Red Brick. And like there's anything and everything in there. You've got the old black and white James Dean photos and all the old photographs of all the film stars and stuff. You've got other people selling all the shooting sticks and the furniture, and other people doing like vintage clothing sections. So similar sort of thing. And I've never sort of inquired about prices of the little booths. It's pretty full out at the minute, but like you go in there and it's amazing because like each section is for different people, and it's a good little thing.
Yeah, and Stacey from is it
Recovered Riches.
He's got one, and I've been speaking to him about it, and you know, he's doing all right. You know, and where he is, he said it's pretty hard to get in there because once people are in, they're not coming out. Which also shows you that the footfall's there and people are making money from there. But it's getting to understand who is shopping and what they want. That's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing. And then Red Brick, you know, it's not all it's not easy. Stalls do come and go, you know, and you've got to think about, you know, I've got a niche. It's vinyl.
Yeah.
When you're selling clothing and stuff, you've got to think about, well, sizes, does it fit them? And you've got to get a regular turnover of stock. But the clothing guys are doing really well. And the other good thing about it is Red Brick is, it doesn't matter where you are, where you live in the country, you could go there and say, I want a store. I know people that live in Nottingham. They've got a booth or a wall in Birmingham and Liverpool, because they've got a Red Brick in Liverpool as well. And
have you not thought about getting something over there as well?
There's already a record store in Liverpool.
Yeah. Oh, you thought about it, though, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't the talks of Red Bricks extending as well? Aren't they looking to kind of grow into other places as well at some point? Did you mention?
I think that was always their business plan. You know, they've got two. I think that, you know, there could be 3, there could be 4. And I think I would like to follow wherever they go next. I would love to have to go with them, and I'd like to be asked as well. You know, like you know, you get like a first refusal sort of thing. You know, you're doing well here. Do you want to come over to the
that's
next
brilliant.
one?
The thing is, as I said, even with the clothing, the benefit I've got is that I might not even end up doing clothing at the next thing. I might end up doing games consoles. I'm just going to shut the window because massive trucks decided to just turn up. Do they know? Do they know what's happening? Do they know what's going on? Absolutely ridiculous.
Do they know who we are?
But the thing is, at the boot sale is there's so much stuff that I'm not picking up, and I might even go, oh, you know what? I can sell furniture. There's so much furniture at the boot sales that I don't touch because I don't want to post it and pack it. But if I had like an area, I could be selling it at such good profit margins, you know. So I'm not saying it will be clothing, but I am saying that what I'd like to do at the end of this year is not go, right, my eBay store's good. I'm like, I need an extra cash flow. I thought about things like Amazon and alternative websites, but I don't like the headache of that. I like the idea of it just being separate from photoing. I'm physically going somewhere else, and also it's refreshing for my mind as well.
Yeah, a lot of people are put off by retail, and you're not the only person to say, I don't want to shop because I don't want to be tied down to the hours of the shop. But it's your shop. You can open it when you want. You can close it when you want. You can have a by appointment only sort of thing. And like, I'm stupid because I'm always looking for the next opportunity, the next thing, and my partner's like always saying, like, just stop now. You know, you've got enough on your plate. I'm like, yeah, but I can't help it. You know, because
get a bigger plate. Go get yourself a bigger plate.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in John's case, is more plates.
Yeah, more plates.
Yeah, and you know, as an example, James, you've got to go and get stock. You've got to go to a car boot to get stock. You've got to go to people's houses to get stock. How do you get stock to come to you? That is the easiest way.
Your shop.
Exactly. That's
Do you still get people bringing like stuff other than records to the shop as well, like your boot sales type stuff. Still get that coming in.
That's a little bit because of the channel. They've seen the channel.
Yeah.
But the other thing
that's a good bit of it. That's a good thing about the channel is you know it gives you that extra bit of advertising.
So on my Google business page, I've put a link to my eBay store, which doesn't really make sense because you'd expect there to be a website. Now, a guy went on there and said, "Oh, I've seen you sell other stuff." I was like, "Oh yeah, so all sorts of stuff really." So I've got two what they're called, Laserdisc players.
Oh right, God, they're worth good money.
2 Laserdisc players, 250 Laserdisc tape cassettes with the remote controls. I said, "Do you want to buy them?" I was like, "Well, I'll come and have a look." So
yeah, definitely.
That was just because I've got a high street presence. Someone's walking past. "Oh, do you want to buy this?" People will come in with CDs, videotapes, because there's a charity shop next door. So if they get an inkling, they might be able to get a little bit of money for their stuff, apart from the charity shop next door. I'll come in and see if I want it. But the thing I was saying, if you was just, I can't remember who I was speaking to about this, but if you was to have like a tiny address with a link to your contact information, where people can say, "Oh, you know, cash for clothes" on the sign on the outside the shop.
Yeah.
You can get cash for clothes. Why would they give it to a charity shop? People will give it to a charity, and don't get me wrong, they want to. But you know, my charity shop, they're dumping it outside the door. You know, it's no good for anyone.
No. Everybody's like you say, because everything's gone up now. You know, if someone sees a sign that says money for old clothes, they're gonna take it there rather than a charity shop. You know, not to take anything away from the charity shops, but they're gonna do that because everyone's scrambling.
But then, but there's, but the thing, as you said, people always donate to charity shops regardless. Charity shops have more stock. They actually have to chuck so much in landfill anyway. And as you said there, you're actually, this day and age, as you said there, if I actually, rather than going to a red brick, if I open a shop in the town centre, a small one, it'd probably do better, especially next year. If I was to do it next year, because I can't just jump this year, I need to make sure this business works because this is my new venture. But next year, as you said there, it might be better off. I try and find a small place and I aim for it as cash for clothes. And then because obviously people's bills are so tight, they'll just go and donate. And I'll have a sign saying the brands that I'm after and what I'm looking for. And I'll say, look, I don't take Primani and I don't take George or Sainsbury's, but
you say that, right? I could do the same with records, right?
Yeah.
I could say I only want punk, I only want indie, I only want rock. But it's what you do with the stuff that you get.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Nothing. You take them to the boot sale, 50 pence, 50 pence, 50 pence. So it's doing the best with what you've got.
Or as you said there, eventually if I had the shop, then I do exactly the same as you. Then I go for a red brick. And if I have all this free stock, you know, or I do it on eBay, as you said there, create a 20 item bundle of Sainsbury's clothes.
All same size.
For £6, all same size for £6 plus postage.
Yeah. If you've done 30 shirts, 30 medium shirts, all very, very similar size, same bundle, 20 quid, which you probably paid, you know, a couple of pounds for because they're not great brands. But, you know, even before shop, you know, you could even just do a website, cash for clothes website. You don't even have to have a high street presence as your first step. But I think the idea is to try and get the stock to you, no matter what stock you're doing. It could be video games, it could be anything. Try and get people to message you, "I've got this. What will you give me for it?" And I get that all the time, which is why, you know, do I really need to go to a boot sale this week? And I've just spent £800 on records. It's a struggle. It is a struggle.
When I first moved down here, and me and she wasn't my wife then, but we got talking, and I said, she said, I'd love to open a little cafe. If I was going to open my own business, I'd love to open a little cafe. I said, well, I'd like to open a themed place because obviously the film props and that. I said, I would love to open like a little, because I think she said I'd like to do crepes and shakes or something and coffees or whatever, you know. And I said, that'd be wicked, because like I could put the film props in there. Like we could have it themed like a little mini Hard Rock Cafe. Then I spoke to Chris, and that's what he wanted to do. I think when he moved to Devon, I think that was his plans, because obviously he likes the films and stuff. But I've always thought, because I've got film props and bits and pieces and costumes and that, if I got myself a little place like that, she could have her little cafe, and I could be selling all the props. And like you say, if someone knows that's there, and they come in to look, and they come in and go, oh look, I've got a load of stuff that my great uncle used to be this big actor, and he's got a load of stuff. Are you interested in it? It is a good little thing, having that bricks and mortar. And if I ever did sort of come into some money, that's one of the roads I would like to go down.
Yeah, I think like the next step for me is because I've got an abundance of calls, is to try and get weird places that have a little record selection where I'm supplying the records, whether we go, I'll give them a little bit of rent for the little space that I've got, or they take a cut of sales, and I'll add a little bit on. That's another idea. Again, it's just trying to keep it as minimal work as possible.
That's a good idea, as you said there, like cafes and stuff like that. Because the amount of cafes that I go to that have works of art on the wall, and that's popular, especially if they're like singles and you're talking 50p. Everyone's got 50p, and you might even put a player in there, and then they can listen to it before they buy it, and it just creates a bit of novelty, as you said. Because what you're doing is no difference to people that do fruit machines or vending machines. It's another form of income.
So it's best of both worlds, because she can have her cafe, and I can display all the props for sale. So like,
and then Brum will have his records.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously, from what we're gathering up, all the businesses are tinkering along, and that's a possible outcome. I suppose I wanted to get to the point about eBay. How's photoing? How are you fitting photos in there? How's your store performing? Because obviously you're doing Ride, you've got Red Brick, you've got your shop. Let's talk eBay. What's the situation there?
How much time do you spend on your listings, John? How long does it take to do your listings?
One thing I've listened to a lot of podcasts, James. I've listened to your listing process. I've listened to a lot of people's different sort of ways of doing their listings, and it could take an hour or two to do listings. My listings are seconds, 30 seconds. Like I say, get it on, get it gone. Because I have so little time, I can knock out 10 listings in 10, 15 minutes. Bam, 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 bam. But it doesn't affect sales. So I think people spend too long listing, personally. This is what my listing process is: find an item that is sold exactly the same, so similar. All the item specifics are there. And this is the same for everything that I do: records, shoes. I don't do clothing, so clothing is a little bit different, I suppose. But yeah, everything is similar. Picture. And if you check my listings, the pictures aren't great. And I remember last week you said that you don't picture at a certain time of day because the lighting is bad, and that happens to me as well. So, but that doesn't stop me. I'm not bang, picture gone. It's because my time is so. I haven't got much of it to spend time listing. But eBay is so important as well, because what did I do? What am I doing? Performance. I was going to this flipping thing where they're asking you to send a text security code.
Oh, I keep getting that.
Yeah, I get them recently.
In the backside. But so you got 4,000 and odd listings, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've got 4,200 listings.
Nice.
And it's still bringing in the same. eBay is important. It is my main income stream, main one, and I need to give it enough attention for that to continue.
So how many things do you think do you list a certain amount a day, or do you just list what you can a day, or
so
how do you go about what's your listing process?
It's so random. It is just not even a rhyme or reason to my listing. If I'm in, all the listing gets done from the shop. That's the only place that I list.
Yeah.
If I'm there, if we get a collection in, we'll allocate eBay, and I'll try and list as much as I can in that whatever time I've got there. So I could have like a 10-minute listing spritz, and I could get 10 items on. Then I might come back to that 2 days later. There's no rhyme or reason to that at all. I mean, what I normally try and do is, if I go to a car boot and there's a lot of stuff, I'll just get the easiest items or the most expensive items done.
That's what I tend to do.
And that's the other thing where I've changed up is I would sit. I mean, the reason I've got to 4,000 listings is because I would come home from work. This is like before, when I was working full time. Come home from work, and I would list maybe 100 records in that session, because I enjoyed it. I listened to the music, what it was. That's stopped now, so I've got to think about. I'm not listing £10 records anymore. £15 minimum.
Yeah.
The only reason I'd list a £10 record for is if I know that it's a quick sellout, like Elvis 40.
Like a Duran Duran type of thing.
Yeah, Elvis 40 greatest hits. I got about 9 of them in the shop, so that's one listing. All I've got to do, was another one. Go to the listing, add one into the listing. So I've now got 10. So
actually, I'm looking for a record. I don't know if you've got it. It's called Jesus Remember Me.
Jesus, remember me.
As you go into the kingdom.
There he is.
Remember.
This could be the thumbnail, guys. Let's do the thumbnail. This could be the thumbnail.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah, make that a queen sleeve cover then.
But no, I think you're exactly right. I would say recently, especially this last month, I've been looking at more hard goods that are quicker to photo.
Yeah.
Like I picked up yesterday, I picked up a load of cameras because all I had to do was I never film tested them, and all I've put is power tested on the cameras, and I've been flying out. Yeah. And I was doing 10 listings.
That was a nice little deal you got there.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, like a couple of them are like 70, 80 pound cameras, and it would taking me 2 minutes to test, a minute to photo.
Yeah.
And then I did sell similar, exactly as you said. With clothing, the reason why I suppose I wish I wasn't doing clothing. I wish I was doing something like media. I could literally, when I was doing gaming, I think I used to do about 30 items in half an hour. Pretty quick. I could literally go bang, bong, bing, bong, bing, scan, sell, scan, sell, scan, sell. Yeah. And it was super quick. But with the clothing, the reason why I take longer is I've got very, very little return rate, just because I take a little bit longer, but I'm happy with that because I've allowed that myself. But yeah, I don't want to do that for necessarily ever. But I've been in a situation where I left my job. I didn't have the savings. And I've tried to find within this 6 months a niche that when the boot sales finish, I'm not going to do the classic, oh, what am I going to get stuck or what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So this is a 12 months job. So I've tried to make my business now bulletproof. But I agree with you about the timing and the lighting. But then I'm quite lucky because of Holly. I pick her up, I drop her off. It's the same routine Monday to Friday. So today, I dropped her off at 9. I've got to leave here by 2:30 and I'll pick her up for free. So I know I've only got that time. So most of my lighting's actually fine. And this last month, I've done the best hack ever, which is I now get up an hour earlier and I do my jobs an hour earlier and I'm finished super quick. And in the morning at about 5 o'clock when I get up, I do all my parcels and I've probably done about I do 10 a day. So sometimes I might do 20 a day or 30 a day, and then I'll have a couple of days off type of thing.
Yeah.
But But yeah, that hour difference, I can whack all the photos, get them all done, go to the gym, because I've now gone back to the gym because I just need to for mental health, and I'm finding I'm getting more social stuff because I don't just want to make money, if that makes sense. I want to kind of get a bit of a life on the back end of this. So that's why after year one, my plan would be to have another revenue, as you said there, and I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm thinking on the spot in the sense of that, yeah, red brick is ideal because I don't have to be there. But as you said there, if I had a brick and mortar, then you're physically there and people can drop it off. And if you're only open 3 days a week, then you're open 3 days a week. But they've got 3 days to come and drop it off. So
and it's not. There is a big social side to having a retail shop as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you
Reselling's a lonely job. Reselling, if you're reselling from home on eBay, it's a lonely job. That's why I'm quite liking the getting out and doing the van driving. But like you say, if you had a bricks and mortar, people are coming in to see you and they want to talk to you.
I've met so many people now I wouldn't have met for a start.
Yeah.
But when you meet people, new opportunities come along, and you know, I know I've made contacts now with a guy, Chris, is through watching the channel. He's a regular in the shop. Through watching the channel, he's gone to open a comic book store in Red Brick, and he is smashing it. Honestly, smashing it. So
that's another thing about YouTube is like the people you get to know, and obviously we've known you for quite a while now, and you know we love having you on. So every time we get together, we have a good old chin wag. Hence the reason for this. But you know, YouTube is another. You know, some people see it as a hobby, and some people see it as a tool. It can be a tool because, like you say, you know, subscribers and that come in the shop, they see you, they buy your stuff. You know, Nick Hills, like I'm sure that a lot of his eBay sales are subscribers. You know, so it can do good things.
Yeah, yeah, but look, take away the sort of YouTube out of it. It's just your regular people that are coming in to just to have a chat. You know, you might say, "Oh, my mum's got a record collection she's looking to sell," or you know, you get chatting and opportunities come your way just because you're in front of someone speaking to them about whatever.
Yeah.
I think your time is well spent in retail. Or you know, even though you are at times tied to. I follow Kirsten's Curiosities. She's got a shop.
Kirsten's got
yeah.
The shop doesn't tie her down to her life. If she wants to close it, she'll close it. She'll open it. She'll open it. But she looked at social media to say, "I'm open this week. These are my opening hours this week. These are my closing. I'm going to close on Wednesday this week because I've got stuff to do."
Yeah.
You know, I think people need to sort of think it's not a 9 to 5. You don't have to work every Saturday. If you want to close on a Saturday, you close on a Saturday.
I think if I had a bricks and mortar place as well, I would be putting more effort into everything than I am now because I do it from home. It's like I can do that whenever I want to do it, or I've got to pull all that out before I do that. If you've got a bricks and mortar place, at least your stuff's going to be in there. You know what you've got in there. You know where it is. You know that it's all organised and it's how you want it to be. It's someone comes in, they're going to be able to look around, see everything, and take what they want. The thing from doing it from home, it's just depressing because like when you've got a big death pile, you just don't know where to start with it. And like you said earlier, you know, if I because James knows, if I go to a charity shop and pick up a load of stuff, I'll bring it back and I'll list it straight away. And I prefer doing that rather than starting on the death pile because you think, oh, what can I sell? And I always think what's worth the most money and what's going to sell the quickest.
Yeah.
You know, and that's usually the stuff you can't find because it's all buried at the back. So yeah, bricks and mortars are definitely a good thing if you can do it.
So next question for you, John, is you set a precedent right at the start of the year. We had a phrase that if those that don't know need to know, this year is the year of the bundle. So how has the year of the bundle? Now we're 6 months in, so you can tell us 6 months at the halfway point. But how has the year of the bundle gone? regarding eBay and what you've been doing?
So before, I didn't bundle anything. I just didn't. I don't know why. So I thought that, you know, if we're going to start doing it, and again, it was making most of stuff that isn't worth much on its own, but is worth more as a collection of items. So this is why I started putting this like mantra into it and started saying it all the time. 2022 year of the bundle, 2022 year of the bundle, and now it is ingrained into my head that it's making use of stuff that isn't worth much, but it is together. So I've got in the shop, if I buy a collection, there might be a Whitney Houston single in there. There might be a couple of Level 42 singles in there. I'll take them out. Mariah Carey's, Michael Jackson's, whatever singles come in will go into its own. Will be put with all the rest, like in alphabetical. When I've got enough, when I've got what I think is enough, I'll put it on as a bundle. Like the Elvis. Perfect classic example. That was an instant bundle. That was straight away. Other bundles take time to build that up. But yeah, it's added a lot of value to my eBay, because which would have been sitting around is now I put it on an auction. This is the other thing I do, bundles, always auction, because I think in 7 days the money will be released from these items. And with bundles as well, you never quite know what to price them at. So if you start them at the price you're happy to sell them as a buy now, if it goes for any more, then perfect. An example of that is I had 7 Pogues 12-inch singles, put them on a $19.99 auction. 1 week went round, no bids. I was like, relist, do it again. Next time round, £27 sold for.
Brilliant.
Nice.
So other stuff's really surprised me. Like the Elvis has surprised me. If
Obviously, got the release of the film as well. The film's just come out.
Who else surprised me?
You did well with Madonna, didn't you? Not so long ago.
Madonna, very good, excellent.
If you haven't guessed, by the way, John, I am a massive fanboy. I'm outside your shop, but
not everyone has got the opportunity to always get these bundles of stuff. So, like you said, if you've got a bundle of neck shirts at a size large,
yeah,
bundle. You know, you're not going to get too much on their own. You might as a bundle.
What's ideal for that is if you've got someone who has to go to work and he's searching neck shirts and then they're scrolling down when they see 15 shirts at £15 or something, £1 a shirt, and they're like, I'll have that. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, they've got different sizes, and you take photos, or eventually, if you get to the point where you had loads and loads of them, you could be like, we'll be different to this, but similar styles. Yeah, and people, that's fine. You know,
and that has started to rub off onto other people's thinking as well. You know, and I do get tagged in a sale or something on Instagram that they've put together a bundle of stuff, and they'll put hashtag 2022 year of the bundle.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen next year in 2023.
It's all going to kick off.
The year of the mega bundle.
Well, I did what you've done, and it made me think, because it's like I've been selling them trunky things. If the other day I had the Gruffalo one, so I put a Gruffalo Teddy in it, and I charged an extra £2 compared to anyone else has ever sold one, and it sold within less than a week because it had that. They must have looked at it and gone, you know what, it's a bit more, but we get the cute Gruffalo Teddy. All right, we'll have that for Timmy or whatever. So
and if you had the book with it as well, you could
I could an extra £1 on it, with a bucket, exactly. And it's like going, it's at the boot sale, seeing opportunities. You know, if you're seeing a Spider-Man mask, then with a Spider-Man toy and then a Spider-Man pajamas, you could put Spider-Man set, boof. You know, why not? Why not get it all bundled together? And as you said, it's finding items that are not worth a lot on their own,
Yeah, just bundle them up.
but adding them together, and then you're getting probably more than what you would have if you sold them individually anyway, or about the same price. It just sells quicker.
It's like Imaginex. Imaginex, you see Imaginex all the time at car boots. You know, don't pay too much for them. But as they build up, all you'll then need is a couple of figures at another car boot further on down the line. All of a sudden, that £10 Imaginex set is now 15 because you've got one figure to put with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's thinking outside of records. It's like another classic one is that broccoli behind you. If you had a bundle of
Vegetables.
They're from the co-op, aren't they? Is it the co-op or something? That's
co-op vegetables bundles. I sold a bundle of 15 for like £64.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, just pick little things up along the way with that in your head.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not paying too much for each item.
I do that with props. Like I've got some props from the Watcher, Keanu Reeves film, and like I've got loads of missing posters. Now I could sell the missing posters on their own. Now I've got these little police business cards, the lieutenant's business cards. You know, on their own they're not worth anything. On together they're not worth a load, but they're worth more together than they are on their own. Same as World War Z. I recently sold some World War Z plastic shopping bags. I could have sold them on their own, but I sold them with. What was I selling with? I sold them with some on-set photos, and I think like a call sheet or something. Sold it together, and it was like 30 quid. So you know, I think it relates to whatever sort of niche you're in. You do, sometimes, like you say, if you see something you think that's crap, a lot of people will go, oh, well, I'm not going to sell that. But like you said, you know, with the trunkies, and you said with your bits and pieces, you know, bundle it together.
I'm gonna try something off the back of this podcast, and I'm gonna try and do it in the next month or 2 months with clothing. And I've not necessarily seen it happen, but it might work, it might not work. Or no, I suppose if I did even just the tie, but I was thinking I might sell a suit jacket and a suit trousers. I was going to say with a shirt and tie, but then a shirt and tie might not quite work because of the audience who's buying it. But even if you put like a tie and a pair of braces with it and a belt, you know, it's going to look a lot more appealing than a normal suit. And you put with belt, with tie, or even a pair of socks, you know.
Full ensemble.
Yeah. And it's standing out from someone else that's selling the same thing,
but without all the bits.
But without the bits, and it hasn't cost you very much.
No, not at all.
To add
another question. Obviously, we're eventually going to get to the magical Q4, and I've watched your videos non-stop, and obviously you are notorious for always being on the money. In fact, the money that we're talking about is Paw Patrol towers. How are your Q4 Paw Patrol supplies building up, and are you going to do a similar thing in Q3 whereabouts you just grab all the last bits? And you know, how's your Q4 plans going? Because I know one thing, you do awesome bundles, and you're talking 150, 160, 170, £200 for your bundles, and you're banging 10, 20, 30, 40 of them throughout that period.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that this year.
I'm gonna take your spot.
One, because I didn't do very well with them last year for a start. I think you know, trends come and go. Resellers get on, you know, resellers or the other people who watch the channel will see what you're doing. Vastly undercut, which is fair enough. You know, it happens.
Yeah, fair play.
So I think it's been and gone. So you need to be careful. Be careful what you're buying, because they're massive. I think I was lucky. I sold 9 bundles in Q4. And I think because of the time as well. It was during lockdowns worldwide. People aren't going out as much to get the toys and stuff. They wasn't able to. That helped. I didn't get mad last year, and I've got bundles which I was selling for the same price still now on the shop with no interest. I think it's
same with all the consoles and the games. Like people were selling bundles like consoles and games and toys and all the bits and pieces, the fitness boards. People were getting crazy money for them. And that first lockdown, it absolutely went nuts.
I jumped on a second and it was still amazing. It was awesome. I was doing wee bundles at 180, 160, 150. It was just insane.
That's what I'm saying. The prices were absolutely bonkers. And like now, it's just a totally different story. You know,
so the top tip for anyone listening and who's got a Paw Patrol tower and you're building up all your stuff, get it sold, get it listed, get it gone, because otherwise,
get money invested in something else.
Otherwise, as you said, you just got to be on trend. And at the moment, Paw Patrol isn't the on trend thing.
Yeah. Well, there's still money to be made in Paw Patrol. I think I'd prefer to do smaller bundles with more of the cars. The towers are a pain to pack.
I think you had to basically snap one to get one in one time.
Yeah, that was I was close to breaking that, but it didn't break. I don't think with the time that I've got to be careful that that tower could take an hour to pack. 45 minutes to an hour. It's a long time to pack one item.
Yeah.
So I won't be sourcing like I did at that time. I think this time my sourcing habits have changed a little bit. Like I know Q4 for me this year is records.
Yeah,
because
so you can just you haven't got to build it all up, have you?
Auction chrisrea.com. Chris Rea, Chris Wham's on there. They're all on there. Mariah Carey.
So really, this Q4, you're just going to let your business run as it's been running anyway, because
I'm like you prepare for things all year. So I'll pick up any Saturday night fevers I'll see anywhere at Car Boot, £1, £2. They come to the shop, great. By October, November, I could have 7 or 8, 9, 10 Saturday night fevers. They haven't sold all year. They will sell in Q4 £15 each. That happened last year. It'll happen this year, even more so. Even the Elvis 40 greatest hits. If you think, what should I get thinking for Christmas? Oh, Elvis 40 greatest hits. Can't go wrong. Tenner. I'll buy them all year. Prepare. Just got to prepare the shop for that time.
Yeah. I think I've got Elvis VHS somewhere. Actually, I can see it there.
So and my storage is getting pretty full as well. Yeah. So having 10 flipping Paw Patrol towers out there wouldn't be fun.
Well, you got rid of the plushes as well, and that was taking up a lot of spaces.
Give up plush.
You had the biggest plush pile I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So it shows you over time how your reselling habits change as well.
Well, James has just changed his again, hasn't he? Because yours was predominantly clothing, and now you've sort of turned around and decided that now you're going to go back to the little filler bits that you used to get before, and you're going to put something a bit different on there.
Yeah.
I've always been the same thing. Mine's always been whatever I buy and think I can make money on, that's what I'm selling.
I'll always have the clothing because I can source that throughout the week. But at the boot sales, I was walking past a lot of stuff that's making me a lot of money, and I was like going, why am I not doing it? And now I've gone to myself, well, I don't touch electronics. It's not for me. I know I'm missing out on thousands of pounds, but I'm not a tinkerer. I've never grew up in a generation of learning how to fix something like that. So it's just not me, unless I can turn it on and power it on. But I will buy when I mean electronics, I'm talking about the hi-fis and all that type of stuff. I'll obviously buy the Mattel stuff and the kids stuff because they're bulletproof.
Yeah.
And you can I know how to take a battery cover off and obviously check if it's corroded. And if there's a bop it there, clearly I'm going to get a bop it. But for me, I am kind of going, what can I get on quickly? What can I photo? What's because the more time I've got free at the moment, I'm not then using it on the business. I've now this last Wednesday, I've started up my saxophone lessons again. I'm concentrating. I've done 6 hard months of getting the business to where it is. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute. Can't all be working. I've got no outreaches. So I actually feel really happy because last month we changed our hours with Holly because our energy bill went up. So we used to get our 33 hours childcare, and we used to have her in afternoon and breakfast and morning club and all this, that and the other. pulled her out of all that, just using our 30 hours. I've saved 200 quid there straight away a month. So I've worked less hours last month. I was more proactive in the hours because of it, and I made more money last month than I ever have. And it's because I'm more focused. But now I'm doing my saxophone lessons. I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, and that's what I want to kind of. I don't want to just keep running to the next business venture, because I agree with you. I was influenced from a lot of resellers, and there's a lot of people that I listen to. I really like Daily Refinement as an example. I know a lot of people hate Chris, but by the by, but he's very like focused. But when you actually listen to him, people go, yeah, but he's just all about working. He's like, no. If you actually listen to him, he's actually not saying to work hard. He's saying work faster and work smarter. Because if you're doing 10 a day like me, and because I constantly do clothing, the time it used to take me to do 10 3-4 months ago, it's not just halved. It's like I'm like a tenth of the time now, because I'm so quick at doing it. I'm also like autopilot, and I think that helps as well by doing the same things. So for me, it's about as soon as I can get my 10 listings done, and as soon as I can do my packaging, I'm all about that. Also having a bit of a life as well, and kind of doing stuff. And I love spending the time with my daughter, like picking her up early and doing all that dad stuff is awesome. And I you know, like staying at home, like doing all the other bits as well. Where obviously I've got to do all the hoovering, the cleaning, the washing,
She
and all
loves
that stuff.
doing the charity shops and all that with you as well.
I think it's quality.
She's picked up some bangs. She's chose some bangers.
Mate, she picks up better stuff than me half the time. She always goes in the toy section, and she'll like the other day we were there, and she said, "Daddy, what do you think of this?" And pulled out his massive transformer. It was like this big. It was huge. It was it was Grimlock. And she's pressing all the buttons, and it's lighting up, going and all the sounds. I said, "Oh, it's brilliant, that Holly. We'll have that." And then she goes to me. She goes, "Daddy." She goes, "Is this one for me or for your eBay?" And I went, "Oh no, this is eBay." She goes, "Oh yeah, it's a good one, isn't it?" But then, you know, each week I do the boot sales. Talking of Imaginette figures, John, what I've been doing is I've been giving her the Imaginette figures because she gets bored after a while. Yeah. But I've just been collecting them, and she's playing with them. So 6 months she's happy with them, and then come Christmas she'll be like, I'm bored of them, and then I'll put them in all the towers, and I'll get some other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's good being focused, and as you said there, at the moment you will have that. At the moment you're doing your taxi, you're doing Red Brick, you're doing the store, you're doing eBay. But obviously then that time will come, but then you're going to be in a different ballpark financially compared to anyone else, because you've got so many revenues coming in. So I get exactly why you're determined.
Yeah, and like say, it's having as much of an easy life as possible, where you know you're not touching stuff. Like as an example, now the YouTube, that's another income stream, no doubt about that. I had an email asking me if I wanted to if they can pay me to advertise their product, and I've got no doubt that someone's going to do this. It's going to come, and I was like, "What? It's not me. Don't wanna. I can't do it. I don't think my audience couldn't stomach it, because that's not like." You see, over time, the company was called. I might as well tell you.
Yeah, go on. Tell us that dishes the dirt.
Exclusive.
Probably one
sponsoring a video. They emailed me saying, I don't know if how many emails just did, because I don't really publish it. Blah, blah, blah. We love what you do on YouTube. Wondering if you did paid partnerships. We're an Amazon FBA reselling software. Wow. We'd love to give you free access to our platform and speak to you about the possibility of paying to sponsor a video. Now, one, I don't do Amazon. I don't do FBA. No. So why it would be easy to say, yeah, I'll do that. I don't do FBA. I don't do Amazon. So why would I?
Yeah. You know, I had a similar thing recently. I had a jewelry company get in touch with me and said, you can choose 3 bits of jewelry. Well, every time a new jewel comes out, we'll offer it to you. And you can have 3 bits of jewelry every month. 3 bits of jewelry every month. All you got to do is on Instagram, just do a photo of you wearing it, or a little thing about a photo of the item, and then what you think of it. And they said you'll get the jewelry free all the time. And I looked through their website and I thought, well, I could get 3 things about 160 quid's worth. And I sort of, I'll just have a look, see what's going on here. Put the code in that they gave me, and then I went through to the thing, and they wanted the shipping off me. And I thought, it's not something I would buy, so why would I pay shipping on it? So I didn't bother, and they kept messaging me saying, do you want to be an ambassador for our company? If you do, you've got another 24 hours. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. Like, you know, if it was free shipping, I would have like give it a go just to see. But I'm not. Jewelry isn't related to anything I do. You know, I've done a cherries one only because they offered me like 30 quid free box of cherries, free box, and I thought, well, I do buy sort of things like that off the line. We'll see how it goes. Like, go to B&M, I go to Home Bargains. So let's see what it's all about. So I've done a little thing for them, but it was just like an unboxing video. But yeah, I've had offers. I've had a few offers from different jewelry companies, and I'm like, where are you getting the idea that anything to do with my channel is jewelry based? Because like I've never done anything jewelry apart from wear a wedding ring. I've never done anything jewelry related on my channel.
Just be careful, Richard, saying jewelry all the time. Just be careful.
Jewelry.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So all I'm saying, it was a catchphrase for someone, but we're not allowed to talk about him.
Oh, right.
So
the company was it's called Profit L. They're an established company. They're established. I was messing them around. Not messing them around a bit. I was just like, I just literally replied, "Hi Joe, how much we talking?" That's what.
Yeah.
You know, I said, look.
Yeah.
If it's 4 figures, I'm not interested. and then I eventually emailed back saying, "Look, I'm not interested. It's not me. Can't do it. Can't. My audience. I respect my audience.
Yeah.
You know, how weird would it look if I was to start promoting that? But it got me thinking. It did get me thinking, right? So we're having a little revamp of the shop at the moment, and I was looking, you know, the sign where it says subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, and the left-hand side corner straight away as you come in the corner, yeah.
You used to have a similar thing on the wall written in handwriting, didn't you, on your storage unit?
Yeah. So in the last 28 days, the channel's been watched by nearly 60,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
That could be an advertising space for a company. Which I'm not forcing it down people's necks.
No.
I'm not talking. I'll obviously talk about it. It's like, oh, I've got my new advertising space done.
Yeah.
But then a company could potentially pay me to be featured on that wall.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know, with advertising space, I've sold advertising space in the past. You can pick your price.
Yeah.
You know, it's fresh air. You're selling nothing. But the value is that people will see that, and I can give them stats about how many people have seen the channel. You know, like you said, the channel's had 2 million views. What is the value of that? So I'm thinking about another potential income stream where a company can pay to advertise on that space there.
Yeah.
You know, eBuy gum as an example. Imagine eBuy gum.
I tell you another place to advertise for free, John, and it really won't make that much of a difference, is your actual banner on your YouTube channel. You could change it each month, like a football stadium, and you're not putting it on your videos. It's not seen. Yeah. But as soon as you come there, you might just put sponsored by or blah, 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 blah. And you can put as many as you want on there. If you think of like a football, when football games happen, they have the banners going on the side. And you can say, look, I have this many people come to my YouTube channel per month, because you don't know what video it's going to be. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the fresh video. So it might take a time. But if it's on your banner and you're selling off your banner and saying, look, I'll put you on my banner. I'll just put your company's logo as long as you pay me the right fee. Yeah. But it's only per month, because if the next person pays me more money, then they go on the next month, or you'll have part of my banner.
Yeah. And that's exactly the point of an income stream where I'm not doing anything. apart from doing the videos, which I'm doing anyway.
Yeah. Obviously.
When I get the chance. But yeah, it's just thinking outside the box. Well, how can I bring some more extra in by using the tools and places?
At least the amount of time, because you haven't got the time in the day anyway. So something like that where you've just got the company name on the wall is perfect, because all you've got to do is do that, put it there, and that's it. It's there. Yeah. So then they're paying for that.
You know, Yodel could sponsor the channel.
Yeah.
So it's a good conversation, talking of Yodel. So obviously, if people know about what happened with the parcels, know about it, and I don't want to necessarily talk about it, but I have a follow-up question which I'm very intrigued by, because I thought, fair play to you, mate. You were very much like a lot of people since I had this scenario where that's had a lot of missing parcels have now messaged me saying you should choose Royal Mail, or you should choose Parcel Force because they're brilliant, and all this stuff. And you went, I ain't got the time. And the last update that I properly watched of yours was you with some packaging going, no one's open, and you're next to the lockers. So I'm assuming you're still actually using the lockers. What's the situation there? Because obviously you haven't got the time, or are you going back to every? Who are you with? Who after all that, are you just like, I'm going to keep using them anyway, or do you know who you're rocking with?
I think a lot of people get confused about the lockers. The lockers are used by different courier companies. The lockers are there just to hold the item, depending on who is allowed to put their item in. So as far as I know, Yodel and Every are both contracted, and City Sprint actually are both contracted to the in-post lockers. So if you've got an Every parcel and it will fit inside a locker, Every will come and pick it up. So I've gone back to in-post used to be picked up by Every
year.
I didn't realise that had changed, and that's where the problems happened. So I've gone back to paying that little bit more.
That 10p difference, isn't it?
Yeah, and going through Every, and Every is still. So I'm just doing exactly the same, just not.
I wasn't even aware of that. I thought in-post lockers were just Yodel. So that's brilliant. Yeah. So that's good for me, because I was thinking the other day I was gutted because it was the first time I actually used the lockers. And then I ended up having 160 quid just gone down the water. And the best part is when you went through the claims process, they were like, it was just an arm and a leg. One of them wasn't even tracked that it was even collected. So they were just like, there's no proof of tracking. There's no this, that, and the other. We can't do it on. And I was just like, what a headache. So the fact that's brilliant that I can go to the locker, I can scan that. Yeah. I'm quite lucky in my store. Of course, I drop it off at Bag and Booze, the place where old dads should chill out. But they're open 11 till 9, so it's quite good hours so I normally will get there. Yeah. But there's going to be times in the morning where I might put my store on holiday mode, and we might be going at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's a brilliant life hack. That I can go to the lockers, drop it off at whatever time. Or I was thinking in my head, I always look at you as like that spark that you're always on the next thing. I was thinking, come Q4, what do people want? People want fast delivery. And I was going to change I know you're probably already on it, but I was going to change. I'm on 1 day dispatch, by the way. So I take back what I said. You were right. The quicker dispatch, the better. But I'm going to change it to same day over Q4. And I was like, I was really gutted. I was like, oh, God damn it. I was like, the lockers were so good. Because you could go there at whatever time. Like, it doesn't matter what time it is. Like, I could work later and I could just be going there. But now I know that Hermes, I can drop off at the lockers and scan them in. That's open back same day. Because I was just thinking, people will pay more knowing that's going to go quicker. And same day dispatch over Q4 must be a game changer for a lot of people.
That's the good thing about round here as well. Because like I said to you, like in the Tesco's Express, which is 2-minute walk, like seconds in the car, but it's 2-minute walk for me. My local Tesco's Express has now started doing Hermes. They didn't have the machines where you could print off the labels. They started just taking the parcels in. I used to drive into Rustington, which is about 7 or 8, 10-minute drive, whatever. But now they've got the machine in there. Like for me, it's a game changer because they're open till 11 o'clock every night.
Yeah.
So till 11 o'clock every night, I can be working away till whenever I get done, and then obviously do all my bits on the computer here, and then take it round there, print my labels off. It's done. It's done.
Yeah. So there's exclusive Hermes. Every can still be dropped at InPost.
That's brilliant. I think, as I said, I'm just going to go same day dispatch, just because I just think Q4 people are just all about, they're not fussed about what they're paying it sometimes. They just want it. They want that item shipped as quick as possible.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that, especially over Q4, because obviously like some people, some couriers, they do fall down in Q4, and that's when you get to know the good and the bad couriers. I've got to say, Hermes were brilliant this
They're
year.
amazing.
Whereas Royal Mail, all I see was problems. Problems.
They smashed it last year, but I think every Hermes shone throughout COVID. They picked up their pace, and then I don't think it's ever got as hard as what it was during the COVID times. And I think because of it, they're prepared for Q4 anytime. But I think they're one of the main distributors for Amazon as well, if I'm right. So because they deal with such a big company and help deliver a lot of their parcels, it's that's a lot of parcels to get shipped. So I know that they try and get good deals, and they haven't lost that InPost locker deal for any reason. I'm sure it's part of their business plan.
Yeah, and I think as far as I know, the Yodel couriers are on a really bad deal, whereas the Hermes couriers aren't on as much of a bad deal. So people are saying that Yodel couriers, I think they get paid per parcel, and if the parcel's really out their way, it could be the fact that they're not going to deliver it. It's not worth it for them.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a bit of a as you said there, the parcel's a £3 parcel, and they're only getting 30p, but the fuel bill's going to cost them £3. Then they're just going to chuck it at the side of the road and say, "Sod that."
Especially, I know someone that if they send Yodel to Scotland, and Scotland being Scotland, where you've got your cities, but if you go anywhere outside, you could be miles away. That a lot of the time that parcel won't get to the destination because the person delivering is like,
yeah.
In the lock.
Yeah, I did a bit of work I did a couple of day trial for a company called Fast UK, and they're part of Amazon. And Jesus, I got there at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I was with the driver, and they were drivers meeting to give each other parcels because they couldn't get their rounds done. And we were still there at 9 o'clock at night. I got dropped off like 9:30, 9:45 at night. And I'd done the 2 days, and then they said, "Sorry, we can't give you a job." And I was thinking, I don't want it. It's a killer. Do you know what I mean? I was just trying to see what it was like, and this is before I was doing the reselling. But I just thought, I don't want it. These guys are sweating. They're not making a lot of money, and you got people meeting up, chucking parcels in their vans, like, "Oh, can you do them ones for me? I'll do them ones for you." And it's like, I'm thinking that's too much. I don't want to do it. I wouldn't mind doing the thing like everywhere. You take them round in your car, you fill your car up with the parcels, and you go and do them because you plod along and do your bits. But them vans are absolutely nuts. So I was at the depot in the morning, and there was like the big like Royal Mail trolley things, the big can't remember what they call them, but the big cages, and people would just like add God knows how many parcels in. There was hundreds that they had to get rid of in a day. The rounds were absolutely nuts. So I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it. It's just ridiculous. I'd rather take 2 ton of broccoli and drive it up to that. You know what I mean? No,
I did when we first came back from traveling, me and Carolyn, when we came back from like India and Philippines and that, we I just needed money, so I did as the delivery van job. And to be fair, it wasn't actually that bad. The only thing that was bad about it is that the website and whatever didn't look at whereabouts they were delivering to. They're just accepting any destination. And I remember being in my van, and I think it was like a road that was like 5 5.5 meters or something like that, something like 3.5 meters, let's say, just for one car to go down. And I'm in this big like truck with this thing. And I just said, I rung them up and I said, I'm refusing to deliver there. And they went, we've had vans go down there, this, that, and the other. It's absolutely fine. And then I said to the customer, I said, I'm really sorry, I can't deliver. And then he's effing and jeffing down the phone at me, screaming at me, going, you're representing Asda, this, that, and the other. And I just said to him, look, mate, I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, when I get back, I'm handing him my notice. I said, I ain't listening to you speak to me like that, mate. I said, it's not worth my time. I said, if you want, I'll drop you your shopping at the bottom of this road and you can come and collect it yourself. I said, I know why you've asked us to do it, because it's hard enough for you to drive down it. So you're getting someone else to do it for next to nothing. And then he almost just went blank, almost like I called him out and I went, that's why you asked for it. But yeah, it's a good job, but I would never want to do it because they don't even think of where that house is. They just take all the orders. And then before you know it, you're going down fields and yeah, not for me. Not for me.
Yeah,
I'll stick to eBay.
When I help out, because where I do this casual stuff, I do the fridge van work, which is fine because you go from like a big depot to another big depot. So I might go from a salad place in Chichester, and I might go to Waitrose in Birmingham. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. That's how that one runs. So like sometimes you sort of can't find the places, but like if I'm doing the localized pallet stuff, which I think I've got about 16 days in July booked to do the local pallet stuff. That is the one that's a pain because you're delivering to some businesses which haven't got access to them, like it's maybe out on a high street. Last week I was delivering in the lanes in Brighton. If you've ever been into the lanes in Brighton, it's tiny little lanes. There's nowhere to park. It's all shops everywhere. It is it's all one way, and it's absolute nightmare. And the localized pallet stuff as well. You might get a house, like you say, where it's got a little driveway. You can't get down the road. It's bonkers. I delivered to one place the other day. Kept taking me to this. I think it was like a Waitrose car park, and I thought, like, this is George Street. I can't find Little George Street. Well, I thought I'm going to back up and see where them little stairs go down between the car park and that. I looked down there. It was like the little Diagon Alley thing, and like the house on the end was the number 8 Little George Street or wherever it was going, for instance. Like it was, and I had to get the box off the pallet. Lucky enough, it wasn't too heavy. I think it was a toilet system. I had to pick it up and literally get it off the pallet, and then carry it down these little steps and down this little path to this house. It was crazy, but like it's just So them ones can be a bit dodgy, but yeah, I know exactly what you're saying about getting down the little roads, and I say especially Brighton. Brighton and that.
Yeah.
Live in Worthing, so like down there it is a bit Harry Potter like, some of them are so you need your vehicle to be able to do what the old triple decker bus does and go,
yeah, it just doesn't happen.
It's like crazy.
So we kind of know about Red Brick, we know about your record store, we know about eBay, we know about Ride. I do have a question that's a bit more personal. Home life. I know that at some point there was issues with the landlord and getting a house and like I remember at one point where like you had to stash the records and hide them and like moving stuff. So what's the living arrangements? Are you looking to get your own house in the next couple of years? How's home life looking and stuff like that at the moment, John?
Yeah, so I'm not here much. This is probably the longest I've been here for a while. Still renting. Our contract is year to year, which isn't great. Anyone that rents, like, you could be kicked. They could come to the end of the contract and say, "We're ending." He wants to sell.
Well, you had that before, didn't you? Where they wanted
that was just crazy. That was just really out of the blue. But we were transitioning from the house to the shop. So the house, I think what happened was we needed some electrical work done, and he sent a friend. The landlord sent a friend. I've never met the landlord, to be honest. He sent a friend, and I think word got back to him. The sort of resellers' houses at times can be a bit like it's in the back room of the shop. It was not much too different to that. So I reckon words got back to the landlord saying, "Oh my God, have you seen the state of your house?" and he's put notice into the to the estate agent saying like, we want them out. They're hoarders. They're sort of tramps. And we said, look, we're transitioning from the house to the shop. I said, we're opening a record shop. This is the situation here. I said, this room will be empty. It'll be cleared out. There'll be nothing in here. We're going to have our house back because all the storage is going to the shop. And then, they come back and said, oh, yeah, he's changed his mind because we had a house inspection during the 6 months because of COVID that no one could move for 6 months. That's another good thing that happened because of COVID. Otherwise, we would have been out. So during that time, had a house inspection, the room's empty, nothing in there. Then all of a sudden, there was a change of heart.
Everything is back to normal. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to buy a house, just not in that position. Every penny is going into the business.
Businesses, yeah. Just like building it up and padding it out.
Yeah. And
like I said earlier, that's what all the hard work is for now. So you can go and buy your house later on when you're in a better position. You're not working like every minute of every day.
Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, to the different self-employed people I've spoken to, trying to get a mortgage when you're self-employed is just a nightmare. Headache after headache.
But the amount of businesses you've got, it shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, I know Jack and Emily, Global Thrifters, that their only thing that they've got is eBay, and they managed to get a mortgage. And Nick, I know Nick's been doing it for years, but like obviously they're moving, aren't they? They're moving into another big place up in Suffolk, wherever it is, and that they're going to get another stream from that because I think they're doing an Airbnb there as well. So I think they're sort of working that into it as well. But yours should be easy with the amount of different businesses you got going on. You would think it would be. Let's say, well, he's got a taxi company. He's got a record store. He's got another record store. Do you know what I mean? He's got his eBay business. This guy's smashing it. They should make it more difficult for you. Bloody hell, you've got enough to worry about with everything that's going on.
It's in the plans, but it's not for now. It's for the future. So just trying to get the tax company up and running, like off the ground. That's the main focus at the moment. The house will come later, but it does great. We rent. It grates me that money's going into someone else's pocket. It does great.
But it's nice to hear from a positive point of thing that it sounds like it's probably going to be a conversation maybe next year or the year after. It's not a million miles away, and as you said there, it does great because every time that happens, that's paid off. That's someone else's, and I suppose that's what I'm grateful for. That where we are, that we are paying off what we've got. Because we're looking into the future. My plan is to be 50, and then we're gonna not live here because we've got 6 rooms here, and then we're just gonna rent all the rooms out. We're never gonna sell this house. This house will just become another income. But I might end up doing this in the next 5 years because it might be quicker to just get another place and then just rent out all these rooms as another income, as another business venture. So at the moment it's ideal because I can store my stuff. But as you said, if I end up getting a bricks and mortar, I might not need to store stuff anymore. Therefore, I might be able to kind of clear all this out. Then there's other option that we can rent out a couple of rooms. We'll just see how things go, really.
If your landlord turned around to you, John, and said, "Do you want to buy this house?" Would you buy it?
Yeah. The house is perfect. It's 2 minutes from the shop, 2 minutes from the kids' school. It's exactly the area we're targeting for the taxi company. So I'm not bang in the middle of everywhere where people need the cars. So it definitely I would 100% buy the house. And because there's room to develop. If this was our house, we'd sort the driveway out properly. We could. Just back here is the kitchen. But there's like cabinets there and stuff, so that would knock all that through. So it'd be like open plan, all that. We can't, so it's just a bit frustrating at times because you want to decorate the house, you're decorating someone else's house.
I remember that when I moved in my first flat and I recarpeted it, and just because it was so disgusting, it was like something from the 70s, and I was like, I had to. But then when I look back, I was like, God, I spent £600, £700 on all these lovely carpets, and I was like, I'm never going to benefit from that. Someone else, that landlord's got it for free. It is a shame what happens.
Yeah,
it's one of them. It's one of the things that I can't change at the moment. So I've got to live with it. Work on, the different bits I'm doing at the moment, and in the future, hopefully, be able to be in a position to do it.
Nice. Yeah. So your brain's always ticking. You're always thinking of, more businesses, although you've not got enough time for them. The good thing is you're not sort of giving up thinking about new income streams and that. You're still thinking about that, but like your advertising thing, that's a blind idea. And it's just good that you're not sort of got there and gone, right, well, that's it for now. I can't think of any more. I can't take on any more. I like the fact that you still think of more things, and you're always thinking of new ideas and ways to make money, which is good.
Yeah, the other thing I've been thinking about is buying a car to rent out as a taxi. A lot of headaches with that, but the rentals of these taxis are just ridiculous. £250 a week, £270 for a multi. If you used to buy that vehicle, plate it so it's got the right plate on it, you've got to put the trust into the person that you're renting it to that they're going to pay that money. But there's a big demand for rented taxis because there's a shortage at the moment. There's a lot of headache. I mean, if they have an accident or something like that,
that's the thing. Whether they're going to take care of the car and look after it.
But that's been thinking about that. There's a place getting redeveloped, not too far from here, Kings Heath. If anyone's heard of Kings Heath, where UB40 first had their first gig. Well, there was an old cinema that burnt down. There was plans yesterday to turn it back into a cinema with 40 flats and retail in the bottom. And instantly I was thinking, oh God, I imagine a record store there, having a second store, because the footfall that will bring is just crazy. But then the rent will be crazy as well at the same time. So
if you get in there early, you might get it at a good price, and you might be able to secure a good deal and a long-term fixed price. You just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen.
I know.
So my final thing to wrap things up on a random question. What's the situation regarding hiring out an Iron Man suit, John? Is it going to be happening?
Who knows?
Because I tell you what, that was we were talking about World Book Day, me and John, random conversation. And John said to me, he said I'm thinking of turning up one day for the kids in an Iron Man outfit. I'll turn up, and I was just like, John, I was like, no other person could I imagine turning up as Iron Man. No. I was like, that would be the icing on the cake.
I've seen some of the amazing ones where like you walk and it makes all the sounds and it's got all the bits that move on it, and obviously the mask. I think you can buy the mask. There's a, I can't remember the name of it, but there's one you can buy for £450, and you say open mask, and it all opens, like it's all done by speech. The thing is crazy. It's about £450, but I've always wanted one. But like I say, I've seen some brilliant costumes, like obviously being in the film props and like going to the Comic Cons, and like there's some proper Iron Man costumes. But like like James just said, there's only you that could do that. Everyone else will be dressing up with Jack Sparrow or Peter Pan, and John comes in Iron Man.
They're only in school for 6 years of primary. So imagine they've missed 2 of them. So imagine turning up like that on World Book Day or something like that. I just thought it'd be amazing to do that. So I forgot about that actually. I'll have to try and sort that out.
But I need you to. I definitely need you to. That needs to happen.
I've got I've got something planned. Nothing major. I've got a new video planned. You know, because honestly, it's really hard. You know, when you've done that many characters, you run out of ideas. You just can't think of anything else. So all it takes is a comment or a spark or something to happen, and then it'll get me thinking about what I can do. So I've got, you know, you don't always see someone at the door. It happened a lot last year because there was a lot going on. People will say, "Oh, you look like this, you look like that, you look like this person," and once you've done every one of them people, you're like, "Oh, I can't think of anything else." But yeah, I've got one planned. So
nice. Can't wait to see that.
So
have you got any plans? Another income stream is selling the Frerch. I'm sure people would buy that. I mean, James is modelling some today.
I've had messages on eBay saying, "Put your mug on eBay. I want to buy the mugs. I want to buy them."
T-shirts.
T-shirt. Yeah, there is a demand for it, but there's a demand for it because you can't buy it. Yeah. So, do I want to sell them? It's Frerch for a reason, isn't it? You know, it's free merch.
Yeah, I know, but people want it.
I know. I think I might do. I've always thought about doing like a Q4 run of merch where for a short period of time, maybe 4 weeks during November, maybe early October to sort of end of November, you can buy stuff, and then once that is over, the window slams shut like the transfer window. It's game over. Because then it'll make a good Christmas present for people. If they, you know,
definitely. I'd have a T-shirt mug.
Whilst we're on the subject of Frerch, thanks for reminding me.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. That's a thing of beauty.
An exclusive to this podcast. If you're listening on a podcast, I'm now holding up a mug with my mug on it. To win it, just comment below. What did you say, Rich?
Should we say if they comment sticky tape, and then I'll stick it into a randomised choosing thing, and
tape might be the word. Sticky tape or tape, tape.
Tape. Yeah, we'll do tape then.
And then Rich can organise a winner, and then just let me know who's won and where to send them to.
100%. Well, I can tell you now that I've won. So
I'll fix it.
I'm going to comment on my own. And the random picker is going to be me.
Now, what we'll do, what you could do is the Saturday night just before this comes out, because this will be out on the end of the month. You could pull it out.
This is coming out on the night of the on the day of the evening of the meetup, actually.
Oh, what you could do is obviously let it come out. That goes without saying, but maybe like sometime in August, let it have a couple of weeks, and then everyone's got to get the word tape in there, and then good luck to everyone watching. And the good point is, we've done it at 2 hours in, so it's not like as if people have heard about it at the start. We'll get to see who's watched it and who's there, who's loyal, who's listened to this. So perfect timing, John. Perfect timing.
Perfect. It's a nice little way to end it. Like I say, it's an amazing mug. It's a thing of beauty. If I had it, I'd have it in a display case. Look at that. Look at
beautiful. That. Where's John? Is that John?
That's perfect there. That was exactly perfect. But so any more things you got in the plan for the future, John, so far that we don't know about, we can get little exclusives on? Is there anything else you want to tell us?
I don't think there is anything sort of on the horizon that I haven't said. I think that I'm just working on a tax company at the moment. That's taking up all of my time, but it's also paying as well. So it's not just I'm not doing it for free. It's working out pretty well.
Yeah.
No, but that's about it really. I do need to get some car boot footage done because that has been slacking. It's hard working on Saturday night, and you might start at 10 in the morning, but you'll work till 12, and then you got to get up at 4, 5. It is tough.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons that James sort of said that he we had a chat about it, and everyone's going, "Why have you really stopped doing a Saturday Night Live together? What's the real reason?" There is no real reason. The real reason is that, for one, James was knackered because, like, we weren't finishing overly late, but like he
by the time you wind down off that,
because
you're concentrating so much, and you're
and
engaged.
After a night, the brain's racing.
Yeah,
you do need to calm it down so you don't get sleep till well late. And he was knackered, but also like concentrating on his business, and I totally 100% appreciate it. And the proof's in the pudding because he's killing it now. I was saying earlier, he lists 10 things a day, he sells 8 a day, so
yeah,
it's obviously working.
I'm enjoying it. I found the right spot, the sweet spot, and consistency is key. But then just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for someone else. It's just maybe a little bit of luck on it, but I do believe, and I think John's the proof in the pudding. If you work hard, you'll get results. And sometimes you've got to work really hard for a long period of time before you see them results. And just because you're not seeing results straight away doesn't mean there isn't results. And it's the one thing I've learned from this. I'm doing this full time. It's taken me 6 months to get here to be full time and to be consistent. But it's actually come August. It's been 2 years in the making. Yeah. So I self-funded everything I have in my reselling, all my shelving, everything. I never paid it from my other job. It was all funded from some slabs in my garden that's funding me to be here. But I am wanting to have other options and other revenue streams, and I'll have a conversation with you, John, next year, and I'll say, look, I've done all right. I've cracked eBay. I'm not going to do anything more or anything less. It kind of sits in a perfect place, but I now need another revenue income. And I don't want to go Amazon, and I don't want to do other websites. I want to do something slightly separate. And as you said, the gap in the market might be I buy clothes or clothes for cash or whatever. I have a big sign there, nice easy one in a stall. As you said there, work the hours that you want. I suppose the reason why I wanted to know my set hours is because then my customers know he's here every Tuesday, he's here every Wednesday, and he's here every Friday or something. So it makes their lives easier. And then, as you said, if I can be there, it can be another storage area. And if I am there, I can have a photo set up. So I can be sat there doing me 10 a day whilst having another form of income and selling items that, probably haven't sold within 6 months. And I'm getting the stock for free. And then it'll get to the point where on a Saturday and a Sunday, I don't need to go to the boot sales because someone's brought in, maybe a family member's passed away, as you said. And rather than giving it to the charity shop, they've got a £5 for a bag of clothes, whereabouts they would have been getting nothing. A £5 adds up, £10 adds up, £20 adds up.
It's funny you say that because every time I buy something from a charity shop, my wife says, "More dead man's clothes, more dead man's shoes." I'm like, "Shut up, will you?" They might have just not want them anymore, and the wife's chucked them out, or you don't know what's going on. It's not always dead man's clothes and dead man's shoes, for God's sake. Drives me mad.
At the same time, you've got that added income stream of people walking in and buying stuff off the rail as well when you're open.
Yeah.
So that is an extra income stream it didn't exist.
It's the same thing with Z. Z's got the same thing. He's got his toy shop, but now he's got people that actually bring stuff into him as well.
Yeah.
So once again, there's another proof in the pudding. Because Z's doing it as well. But anyway, guys, we've been in over. It feels like we've been on 5 minutes because, like, every time we get together, we just have a good old gym wag.
It's the first time we've had it without alcohol involved.
Yeah,
yeah, it is actually. Yeah, but that's probably because it's only like 11 o'clock. Well, it's it must be 1 o'clock now.
I've got to be driving in a bit.
Yeah, no worries. Well, cheers, John, for coming.
Thank you so much, John.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks, James. I'm sure we'll get you on again in the future. So don't forget, everybody, though, obviously we've been talking to ourselves, but I'm talking to you lot now that have been watching this. Don't forget, if you want the Frerch, you've got to put a comment. And if you haven't watched the whole thing all the way through, tough luck on you because you're not going to win it. So
yeah, exactly.
that's how it is. Right, so anything else you've got to say, James?
I just want to say thanks, John, and hopefully we can squeeze you in on a Christmas special. Because we're definitely wanting to do a nice Christmas special whereabouts we're going to have potentially daily podcasts coming out. Just that build up to Christmas, the 12 days of maybe the 12 podcasts of Christmas. Who knows? But yeah, we're going to definitely do a Christmas one, catch up. Probably won't be as much about business and everything. It might be just talking about what you're wanting for Christmas. Who knows?
Just be a few drinks.
But I imagine guests might even appear on that live. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Someone's going to be knocking at the door.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the new character.
Yeah.
The new character. So when's that one coming out?
Don't know yet. That
it will be out. It will already be out. It would already be out.
Yeah.
It might be. Yeah, by the time this is out.
Yeah, it probably will be out then. But yeah, but ordered the costume, so.
Oh, nice. Right then. So all we've got to say then is goodbye. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Obviously you would have. If you haven't subscribed to John, all the links are going to be in the description and that. Same with James. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, then just click the button at the bottom. Other than that, we'll see you later.
See you later.
See ya.